Have you ever just looked at a painting or heard a piece of music and thought to yourself, how on earth did they come up with that? Yeah, we tend to treat creativity like it's some kind of magic, a gift that only a few special people get. But what if that whole idea is just wrong? Okay, let's get into it. I mean, it's the question we all ask, right? You see these amazing artists, inventors, people who change the world, and it's easy to think they're just wired differently, that you've either got it or you don't. Well, here's the thing. According to the source for this explainer, Csikszentmihalyi's incredible work on the topic, that whole belief completely misses the point. The real story of creativity is so much more interesting and way more accessible to all of us. So first things first, let's completely reframe how we're thinking about this. Forget creativity as some rare magical talent. We need to start seeing it for what it really is, a skill. And this is absolutely crucial. This isn't just about painting a masterpiece or writing a symphony. No, this is about solving problems in your own life. It's about expressing who you are and honestly, just living a more engaged, fulfilling life. It's a skill you can practice and get better at, just like anything else. So to figure out how to build this skill, we've got to know where it actually comes from. And here's a spoiler. It's not just happening inside your own head. See, creativity never happens in a vacuum. It's always part of a bigger system. Just think about it for a second. Who gets to decide if an idea is actually creative? If it was just up to you, well, we'd all think our shower thoughts were world-changing. For something to truly be labeled creative, other people have to recognize it and value it within a certain context. And that brings us to this really cool idea, the systems model. It has three parts. First, you've got the domain. Think of this as all the existing knowledge and rules. For a chef, it's all the cooking techniques and flavor profiles. Then there's the field. These are the experts, the gatekeepers, the food critics, the seasoned chefs who decide what's new and good. And finally, you have the person. That's the individual cook with a new idea. The big takeaway here is that all three of these things are constantly interacting. A person uses the rules of the domain to create something new, and then the field looks at it and decides if it's a valuable addition. I mean, you can't be a creative physicist if you don't understand the domain of physics in the first place, right? It just makes sense. Okay, so we get the external system now. But what's going on inside the mind of a creative person? Is there like a secret personality trait we should all be trying to have? You know, what's really fascinating is that the answer is no. There's no single creative type. Instead, highly creative people are usually a complex mix of totally contradictory traits. They can hold two opposing ideas at the same time, and it's this complexity that lets them see things from all sorts of different angles. Okay, check out this first pair. Creative people have this childlike sense of play and curiosity. But, and this is a big but, they balance it with an almost superhuman discipline. Yeah, daydreaming is the fun part, but bringing an idea to life, that takes work, grinding it out for hours and hours with intense focus. And this one is so important. It's this constant push and pull. You have to be a little bit of a rebel, independent enough to question the way things have always been done. But at the same time, you have to deeply understand and respect the tradition you're working in. You can't break the rules in a meaningful way if you don't know what they are first. And finally, this one. Creative people tend to be both incredibly humble and fiercely proud. They're humble because they know they didn't get here alone. They know they're building on the work of those who came before, but they also have a quiet, solid confidence in what they're doing and why it matters. That's what pushes them forward. So what's the engine that powers all this hard work? What's the mental space where this all happens? Well, it's a powerful state of mind that I guarantee you've experienced before, a state of total immersion called flow. Flow is that magic feeling. It's when you're so deep into what you're doing that everything else just melts away. This is the secret weapon for creative people, not because it leads to fame or fortune, but because the act of doing the work itself feels so incredibly good. So how do we find it? How do we get into that state? Well, the source breaks it down into three key ingredients. First, you need a really clear goal. You know exactly what you're trying to achieve. Second, you get immediate feedback so you can adjust as you go. And third, and this is key, the challenge has to be perfectly matched to your skill level. Not too easy that you get bored, not so hard that you get frustrated. And when you hit that sweet spot, man, it's incredible. Your self-consciousness just vanishes. You're not worried about what other people think. Time gets all weird. You look up and hours have gone by in what felt like 5 minutes. The work becomes what the source calls an end in itself. You're doing it just for the sake of doing it. Okay, that's all amazing, but let's bring it back down to earth. theory is great, but what can we actually do with all this? How can we bring more of this creativity and flow into our regular, everyday lives? The source gives us two beautifully simple but really powerful things to focus on. First, make a conscious effort to nurture your curiosity every single day. And second, intentionally look for and create moments of flow. And the secret is to make it a daily habit. It's not about some huge, life-changing project. Just start your day with one small, specific goal that genuinely interests you. Maybe it's trying one new chord on the guitar or noticing something new on your walk to work. When you start approaching your day like that, the most ordinary things start to seem pretty extraordinary. So you see, creativity isn't some lightning strike from the heavens for a lucky few. It's a skill you can build, a mindset you can adopt, and a practice you can bring into your life starting right now. It's about reconnecting with that sense of wonder and engagement that makes life worth living. So the only real question left is, what will you create?